there is a common misunderstanding in professional services about service design. How do we come up with great services? How do we come up with best-selling services? We think, and it's a pattern I've seen for many, many years, we think that we have to first come up with a brilliant idea and then think about all the possibilities about the service idea, and then put some marketing budget on designing a great web page and hiring copywriters and beautiful photos, and then creating all of the background frameworks and structure and document everything, and then we can launch. But I would rather see you do the opposite. I would rather see you launch imperfect services that are really aligned first with the needs and wants of your ideal clients, rather than launch perfect services that nobody wants. There is, for some reason, this myth that you have to go this way. And that's probably because we're influenced by what we are hearing and seeing from product-based companies who have all of those focus groups and design studios and research centers to really guess the needs and then what people have in mind and the likelihood of customers to buy their services. These are methods for really, really large corporations who have the budget to launch products that fail and then offset it with products that win, right? But in professional services, we work differently. So to give you an example, I want to tell you the story about my latest service called Expert on a Mission. Expert on a Mission is my one-on-one coaching program for entrepreneurs for solopreneurs running professional services. So I mean, coaches, consultants, agencies, engineers, architects, and so on. First of all, let me show it to you on my website. There it is. If you go to metahelm.com and you click on services, you will see here Expert on a Mission. There it is. Okay, I was already on the page. So this service is, like I said, my one-on-one strategic narrative coaching, and it is designed to gain focus, make traction, and increase profit. I'm going to stop sharing because I want to tell you the rest of the story and how I got to this description, this final description. Well, a few months ago, well, many months ago now, I was talking to one of my old clients, and she came up to a call. She came to a call with the need to help her identify her own personal narrative. She knew me from my work with corporations, large organizations, helping teams figure out their strategic narrative and grow narrative power for their organization. So she asked me, she thought that this was something I wasn't doing, I couldn't do. And she asked me, is this something that you would be interested in helping? And I said, yeah, actually, I can really do this. I actually sometimes do that, but it's not listed on my website. And I have a background in coaching, and I used to be a counselor, relationship counselor many years ago. So that's an offering that could easily envision and really start developing. And I said, okay, sure. When are you ready to start? And she said, sure, we can start pretty soon. So I launched this service on a handshake, just by agreeing on high-level terms. We said, okay, we'll meet every couple of weeks, and I'll charge you $500 a month, say. Is that okay with you? Yeah, sure. I made sure that the price is a no-brainer and not difficult to budget for. So I'm lowering the friction to access to the service, and I started providing this service. So basically, in the beginning, I offered a prototype of Expert on a Mission. And then I started thinking, well, if this client is interested in this, she sees the value, we're working well together, she's very happy, maybe other people want to do that. So what I did then is that I simply emailed to my email list. I sent a newsletter to my email list saying, this is high level what I'm doing with a client. Who else is interested in this? And to my surprise, several people responded and say, yeah, I want to talk about this to you. So then I started to gather information, and I recorded my calls, and I started listening to how I would present that service and how I had structured it. So my prototype of the service started to become more elaborate. I onboarded a couple more clients, and then a few months later, I'm starting to think, oh yeah, this is working really well. So now I am more how am I trying to say here? I am more spontaneously, looking for client, reaching out. Here's the word I was looking for. I am reaching out to potential clients and saying, I've been doing this. At the time, I would call it only one-on-one coaching. I didn't have a name for it. And those people say, well, that's great, but do you have a description for it? I said, sure, of course I have a description. Let me send it to you tomorrow. And what I did is that I gave myself 24 hours to pull a Google document and write a service description to give to them, and then onboard them, and so on. And then the next stage, you get my point here. You see the circle, the virtuous circle. I started building the web page that I just showed you, right? And then I started adding more details, and then I started onboarding more clients. Always focusing on delivering the best value possible to the most ideal clients, people eager to work with me, the most aligned people with my values and my services, before I started investing in adding layers of marketing to this product. I didn't spend, outside of my time and my regular website platform, I didn't spend any budget in marketing this program. And as of today, I am really proud to share with you that this program is full on a consistent basis. People come and go sometimes, but I managed to fill up this program, and it works really, really well. And I am now thinking of developing different versions with a different with a 3-tier pricing scale, so that I can have a self-directed version, a one-on-one with me coaching version, and then a more higher level version with more time with me and more tools and more customized more customized experience, right? So really, if you think about it, what I did is that I started working backward. I started with the idea of the service, slowly describing what it would be, and then started experimenting with it, started charging for it, so which was a way for me to fund the development, because my time is not free. So I still funded the development of this service for people, and I'm growing it over time. And my goals and my vision for this service is that it will probably become one of the main services that I offer. I really, really enjoy doing it. By the way, I made sure that every step of the way, I am just as excited as my clients to be on the call, that I'm joyful, that I'm at my best. And I was able to shape the different details to really feel excited to be on each call, so that my clients not only see the value, but they have a great time with me, and they implement right away, and they see their business being a successful business, becoming a successful business that they also love, right? So this is the method that I recommend that you use to create and launch best-selling services, by making sure that you invite your clients to put their fingerprints on your service, so that it becomes theirs, so that it becomes they become champion of the service. They become your ideal client. So I'm starting to get testimonials that reflect that success. I'm starting to get more interest thanks to that success. I barely talk about it, but it's still full. I haven't even paid for advertising yet. And so I can't imagine, I can only imagine if I start paying for advertising on social media, I'm going to have even more demand. But I always focus on aligning my service with my clients and what they want, what they need first, before I invest into developing those services. There is a method, there is a tool, a framework, I would say, that I'm going to be teaching fairly soon in the coming weeks, I think, that I'll be teaching very soon, called the product story. The product story is the tool that I use to build my services through this approach. Very as you can notice, I use prototyping. So the product story. What is the product story? I'm just going to quickly touch on this because I'm going to be talking about this a lot more in the coming weeks. So the product story is, let me pull my notes here, is a method that has many advantages. As you could hear in the beginning of this video, in professional services, we can make up any service that we want. We can really create things, but sometimes we have the tendency to create services that we are excited about creating, but that nobody wants to buy. That's the problem. So the product story is a method that really helps you make your services the expression of your perspective. With the product story, your service become more likely to sell well and serve well as well. So it's a method to design services better. It's a method to really adopt a product mindset to your services. That's why it's called the product story. With the product story, you use a product mindset and you productize your services. You think about them as product. Services are very intangible and they are sometimes very fuzzy in our professions. People and buyers therefore don't really know what they're buying. Are they buying time? Are they buying a project? Are they buying a deliverable? Or are they buying value from you? If you adopt a product mindset, it will be a lot clearer because productizing your service means you're going to standardize them. So that method here is also to make sure that you create the service that you are guaranteed to be successful. So let me explain here. Writing your product story, putting it in writing, feels like you now have a blueprint. You have a canvas that tells you who this product is for, what it does, what are the benefits, the transformation that it creates for your clients, and how do we access it, how much does it cost, and very importantly, what are the proofs that it works through testimonials. Once you have this, before you even launch your service, that's the thing, that's the key there. Once you have this somewhere in your notes, it's internal to your company. You don't have to, you don't put this on your website first. It's like your internal press release, your internal communication documents. Once you have this with you, well, then you start looking for people who might be interested. And guess what? Because you've written that document, the way you talk about the service, again, without even having a sales page, is really compelling. And then as you onboard new clients, as you develop new features, you add more value to the service, it always stays aligned with your direction. It always stays aligned with the needs of your clients and the wants of your clients. All right, so I hope that this whole approach helps you demystify how to launch best-selling services. I hope that it helps you understand that the methods that are recommended for products shouldn't be applied just directly, but you can borrow the mindset and the philosophy of prototyping to apply it to services to be very, very successful. I hope that it helps, and I look forward to continuing this conversation with you. Please comment below, like, and send me your questions if you are interested in hearing more about this method. Like I said, I'm about to announce a free-to-attend course in the coming weeks or in the coming days. I'm not exactly sure when, but stay tuned. Sign up to my email list if you're interested in gaining free access to this framework by attending the live version of this course. Thank you so much.